got to say is, drizzle, drizzle.
If that water wet, it's got gators in it.
Oh, yeah? Well, me and the Lord, we got an understanding. We're on a mission from God.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
Cursed be the ground for our sake. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for us. For out of the ground we were taken, for the dust we are. And to the dust we shall return.
They shouldn't have given you ashy blokes YouTube.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Guys, the bottom line is this. BGS is right.
All right, good people. Okay. It's Tuesday. I've already done the show in real life. And so I decided I didn't really have. I had some things, but the thing is, the things I wanted were probably too long. So I was trying to decide. And so I had like 3 or 4 people wanted me to actually comment on this. Okay. And I want to ask Dr. Goodbar, okay, what is it about Medium Man that you guys like so much? Okay. It's one thing if you guys like him and you take what he says, but you guys always want me to come back and comment on what he does, or actually talk about what he does, or actually assess what he does like he's my wayward child. Okay, I don't get it. Every time he does something, Dr. T and a few other people will pop up and, hey, have you seen this by Medium Man? I said, what do you guys like him so much? I don't get it. Okay, it's not up to me to actually address him every time y'all disagree with him. You gotta disagree with him. How come y'all don't do it? Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and get just like the one with the patriarchy. Okay, are you going to address Medium Man about the patriarchy? Why do I have to do it? Okay, do you agree with him or not? Anyway, but that's what we're doing today. We're punching the clock, so I said, let me go ahead and get this out of the way so people can stop asking me, okay? So that's what we're going to do today. Shannon Moore's batting first. Sexy Silk batting second. Adric, okay, batting third. And the other Shannon batting cleanup, okay? It's going to be a good day, okay? And just in case we get a rally going, the pirate broadcaster, okay, is batting fifth. And there he is in the Waffle, straight from the Waffle House. Okay, Loki Stormbringer, Lavaris, what's going on, man? Jesse Griffin, what's happening? Grab Eddie, what's going on? Yeah, I'm punching the clock. Steph is dope. What's going on? Ahmed, Ilyas, Luther, Dave. Wait, where you been, Dave Tao? W. Bristle, what's going on? I said Pan Azure 06365 is increasingly becoming the worst thing ever. Microsoft, man, Microsoft is like a TikTok, right? Okay. Their tick will be off, and because there's too many bugs, too many things wrong with it. But the talk, when they actually correct all the bugs, then it'll be solid. I don't know what that is about Microsoft. MS looked at a perfectly good Windows AD and they said it works too well. Yeah, because they're trying to do something different. It's going to be good. Maybe not. Another episode to try to figure out how the red pill turns. Yeah, I don't know why it is, man. It's not that deep. Okay. AB says he's gonna be covering the State of the Union. Okay. Nelly's here for it. Michael, what's going on? I said, Chaz, what's happening? Okay, Dr. Dunbar. See, you know what? Whatever it is that Medium Man does, the PhDs love Medium Man, okay? Whether they agree with him or not, okay? Creating Triple OG. I say, hit my like button, folks. Melly Mel, what's going on? Ben Kanan, what's going on? Kelvin? Mark Bryant? Paul? Yeah, I know, man. I know. What is you know, it's always a dust up in the black male spaces, man. The white male, the white manosphere, man, they be throwing blows, man. They don't play. They be throwing blows. Espresso, what's going on? Two Triv, all for one, what's going on? Dr. Thunder, what's happening? Barry Hamilton, what's happening? B Row, what's happening? Dreamy Enterprises, what's going on? I thought Medium Man hit the nail on the head with his vid, so I'm very interested in BGS take. And well, you know, in fact, he did not hit the nail on the head. Okay, you know, because I actually want Sister Stewart actually come out, who actually wrote the goddamn thing, and give her take on it, because she's the author of the Red and Blue Pill. So we're trying to get her to come out and actually cover the red and the blue pills from the source, okay, instead of us guessing about it. Okay, I've talked to her, and I have a pretty good idea of what she's talking about. It's like I have my take on it, okay, because me and my buddy interviewed her about 3 times, okay, so I have a good sense of how she sees it from her source, okay. Indigo Flow, what's going on? A6, okay. Michael, what's going on? Marcellus, Afro Merchant, Kenneth, what's happening? I said, sick. I said, is it sick? Sayek, sick. Okay, what's going on? Little Maple Leaf, what's going on? Yeah. I'm being caught. Yeah, you are being caught. I want to know. In fact, Dr. Dunn, you might hit the link, man. Tell me what it is about Medium Man that you guys like, okay? Because I'm curious. Chaos, what's going on? Because as soon as it went up, man, like 30 minutes later, Dr. T was sending me a text, okay, about it. It's like, you know, because I could care less what he because he's our I know, but I don't need to hear about it, okay. I don't need to hear about. If you guys like him, I have no problem with y'all liking him or even enjoying what he says. But the thing is, why do you have to report him to me? Okay, it's what I don't get. It's not my job. Okay, it ain't my job. What's up, y'all? The unwelcome party. Christopher Polks. Okay, Beatro. I just like his opposing untrue narratives with the data. That's all. Marital rates be okay. Yeah, okay, that's fine, okay. He's earned credibility with his statistical analysis. And you know what? I've done the same shit, man. All the stuff that he's done, I did that years ago, okay? Years ago. Okay. All stuff he's done, I did that years ago. Eminem is the Keisha sympathized. I don't think he's that. I think he's purple pill. Prince, what's going on? Kelvin. Mad Zulu. But yeah, I understand that. But the thing is, um, I always get a link to his stuff, man. And the thing is, especially when it's controversial, man. Okay, I may get a Medium Man sighting, in my post, okay, because I do watch him, okay, from time to time. I might get one of his sightings maybe once every 3 months, okay, and it's always something. Hey, are you gonna check him on this? You know. Babu, Calm Steve, Calm STV, what's going on? Dr. L, what's going on? Ninja Person, what's going on? It says, chat student posted he got 2 offers today, started in March. Oh, cool. Oh, cool, man. Hey, slow clap. Yeah, you know what, Ninja Person, I sent my nephew a text. I said two of your classmates got offers of 200K. I, I ain't heard back from him. Thanos, what's going on? DJ B side, what's happening? Gundam, what's going on? And Killer Mike, what's going on? Muno Kayoku, what's going on? What's happening? Oos, Forever Blessed. Out of Fool's Way, what's going on? Oh, it's probably sick. Okay, all right. Dr. Thunder was covering a Medium Man video earlier as well. Okay, I had no problem with it. Okay, ask a brother, what's going on, man? I don't know how open you are, but Theo F wants to get at you. Okay, there's a couple of people that want to get at you. They asked me about you, and I don't have your email, so whatever your contact information for people that you get in contact with you. Okay, I know Theo wants to get in contact with you, and there's a couple other people that actually want to get in contact with you, but and they're trying to go through me. But the thing is, I don't have to. I said I don't have the end. Okay, I don't have the hookup with Jeff. People think I don't know why people think I do though. Forever Blessed, what's going on? Panda Man, what's going on? Oh, computing for the next 45 minutes. Okay. What about the numbers? Make a good counterpoint to some Medium Man's info. You provide context. The thing is, man, we talked about the pills for the last 10 years, man. I actually did uh, uh, a whole Patreon series on the Matrix. Okay, breaking down the details inside of it. Okay. It's designated babysitter, I guess so. Okay. Uh, J Man, what's happening? I'm listening. What's going on? Chemistry IBMOR, good to see. This is good to see because I thought he was ducking you. I don't know if basically we have determined we're gonna stay out of each other's way. Okay, for the most part. Okay, I only address Medium Man when you guys say I need to address him. Because other than that, I don't really comment on his stuff. Okay. Very true. B just called things a decade ago with stats, so I don't find these new statistics any different, but really just more confirmation. Yeah. And there's stats that I pointed out he hasn't gotten to yet, like when he talked about the male wall. Okay. Okay. Which is very much untrue. In fact, I got to talk about the male wall and the female, especially the black female wall. Why it's so difficult for females with the black female wall. I probably will do that one on my Black Pill Gnostic page sometime this week. Okay. I said I'm subscribed for him, but he goes on these unsolicited rants on the pills that's in contradiction to everything he's preaching. If he doesn't understand the arguments that men are making, well, you know that everybody has their worldview. No, the thing is, I wouldn't have done it, but people, as soon as he dropped that show, man, I shit you not. An hour later, Dr. T was actually texting me. What are you going to say about this? I said, Dr. T, you got a channel. How come you don't say something? You're either in the matrix or out. Basically, okay. Basically, even if you think about it, even Zion is connected to the matrix. Okay. even though they're unplugged from it, but they still have to survive within the matrix. Okay, that's how come they're always visiting, going back and forth. Okay, they're still connected. Everybody tries to gaslight the black man and tell us we're doing the very thing they are doing. Crazy work. Yep. Yep. Anyway, let me go ahead and get started. I don't, I don't know. I don't mind that. The thing is that the thing is, I'm curious about you guys. Okay, is because if you guys don't speak up and send me this stuff and say, and the first thing I say, are you going to speak on this? Okay, the thing is, I agree. I said I've already spoke on it. Let's say with patriarchy. I did I don't know how many videos I did on patriarchy, including the one I did the last time about patriarchy. Okay, showing you showing you what it is. I know I've done like 20 videos on patriarchy, and people are you going to talk on patriarchy? I already did. Okay. Okay, you got to remember. Let's. Well, the Matrix is philosophy. Okay, Matrix is philosophy. It's your worldview. That's what the blue pill, the red pill, and even the black pill are about. Philosophy, how you see the world. It has nothing to do with stats or anything like that, right? It's how do you see the world, and that's what it's built on. Okay, so you try to quantify philosophy, okay, which is difficult. Okay. And if you're not using philosophy, okay, not using philosophy to go along with your worldview and your stats, then you're going to lose something. And sometimes his philosophy, he's a good stat guy. He looks at numbers very well because he reads reports and numbers and studies and stuff like that. That's part of his job. But the thing is, he's not a philosopher. He might be. He might be doing it for the bag. Okay. I don't know. If you think, I understand he might be doing it for the bag, but thing is, my thing is, why do you guys come back to me and say, how am I going to respond to him? He's not my enemy. He's not my opposition, and he's certainly not he's certainly not my little stepson. Okay, he's not stepson. I have no control over him, or anything like that. So, Dusty Jones, what's going on? Anyhow, let's go ahead and get to it. And stuff that I've gone over before, so I guess we gotta go over it again. Okay. And this is Media Man. The red pill will never die. Behavior keeps proving it true. Okay. And red pill will die when the philosophy changes. Okay. It's just philosophy. Okay.
Know what it is. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. You have to see it for yourself.
Before I begin, I need to define the language because most people argue against the words they were never taught to understand. The terms blue pill and red pill originate from the film The Matrix. In the film, the blue pill represents remaining in a comfortable illusion, accepting reality as it is presented without questioning it. It represents safety, familiarity, and comfort.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
The red pill represents choosing awareness, seeing reality as it truly is, even when that reality is uncomfortable. It is the choice between illusion and observation.
That is true. Okay. That is true to a point. Okay. Illusion is necessary. It's called socialization. Okay. Which Sister Stewart said the exact same thing. How are you socialized? Okay. Well, that's why the blue pill is necessary. People think that the blue pill is evil. It is not. It's necessary. Otherwise, you can't have a society without the blue pill. Okay? The red pill is only for a few people. Okay? Okay, even Neo knew at the end that the blue pill is necessary. The matrix is actually necessary. And everybody, he knew it at the end, okay? Otherwise, you don't have a society.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Outside of the movie, these terms evolved into shorthand for different ways people interpret social reality. The blue pill represents belief in the social accepted narrative. It assumes attraction
True, it's how you socialize, exactly.
and relationships work primarily the way people publicly claim they do, though fairness, good intentions, and the idea that personality and character are what matter most.
This is a black man who believes what he was told. He believes being kind guarantees attraction. He believes effort creates desire. He accepts the story without questioning the outcome.
He has to accept it, otherwise, and this is something that Margaret Mead said, okay? I saw it, I could pull it up, and she said it, okay? Men, she's talking about men, not women, but she talked about with all humans, but especially men, okay? Men have to be socialized and trained to care in a certain way in a society, right? Had to be trained to care, and said that when that dissolves, okay, you're going to get a different reality and different society, and most women do not want to see that, right? Which is happening right now, okay? That socialization, that blue pill socialization that we have trained men and boys over the last 100,000 years or the last 10,000 years, okay, is starting to dissipate and dissolve. And now women in society or the state is scared because they have no idea what's going to happen when these boys become unsocialized, okay? In fact, I was just reading that Margaret Mead said that, okay? She said that because Margaret Mead studies socialization of the apes, right? Okay? And the thing is, all societies, even monkeys and apes, have to socialize their prodigy, okay? It's not just a human thing. So even monkeys and apes and other creatures have a blue pill orientation, okay?
The red pill represents awareness through observation and experience. It focuses on patterns of behavior, incentives, and outcomes, especially when those patterns contradict what people publicly say.
This is a black man who observes patterns. He watches behavior. He moves based on results. He doesn't seek validation. He recognizes it.
The black pill represents fatalism, the belief that outcomes are largely predetermined and that effort has limited influence.
No, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. This about the black pill is bullshit, okay? That's bullshit, okay? The original black pill. Now, if you want to believe what the incels that hijacked the black pill have to say about it, and incels are not red pill. Incels are actually failed blue pillars. Most people think that incels were part of the red pill. Incels were never part of the red pill, okay? Incels are failed blue pillars. Incels actually hated pickup artists and MGTOWs for the most part. They hated them. Incels, I wish I could play it. Incels want a blue pill fairy tale life with the woman that they love. Most blue pillars want the picket fence and the 2.5 children with the pretty wife that loves them to death. Okay, that's what incels actually want. Okay, they want the ultimate blue pill.
Often leading to withdrawal and resignation.
This is a black man who believes the outcome is already decided. He stops trying because he believes effort doesn't matter.
The purple pill represents a middle ground, acknowledging that some red pill observations are accurate while also recognizing that human behavior is complex and not reducible to rigid rules.
Purple pill is the cross between the two, okay? To think we used to dive into geopolitical economics and take a break from the red pill. Now, the red pill and BFF is a break from geopolitics. Incels are not ciphers. Most of your purple pill guys are ciphers, okay? Incels, how would I describe incels? Inside the matrix. There's certain people inside the matrix that commit suicide because they're so distraught, okay? Those are the incels. Why this dude discussion the pill shit? I thought he was a stat gatherer. Because he's adjacent to the red pill. Okay. Yeah, but incels believe in the white picket fence and all that kind of crap. Okay. And real quick, I'll actually show it to you. Let me pull it down. I'll actually show you the quote where the original black pill quote comes from. Okay. I'll bring it back in a minute. Okay. Let's see. It's an image file. It is an image file. Hold on. Image file. Da, 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 da. And we want. Where's my desktop? Okay. This is the original introduction of the black pill into the red pill community, into the manosphere. Okay. And this is from Paragon in 2011, right? Okay. It was in a comment section. Okay. And this is what the actually the incels, the incels tell you this is where they got it from. Okay. The incels tell you exactly where they got it from. But what he says is not what the incels say. Okay. What he says is not what the incels say. Okay. If your alternative is the MRA, the men movement has zero applications for relationships with women. Okay. This is what he has to say. We need to talk about taking the black pill, meaning to reconcile that there are no personal solutions to systemic problems. Okay. In other words, a personal solution cannot change a systemic problem. Individually, you can change who you are inside a system, right? But the systemic problem, you personally cannot change it. Okay. So I tell you about the environment, right? Because I'm a black pill motherfucker. Okay. What he's saying is we need to talk about taking a black pill, meaning to reconcile there is no personal solution to systemic problems, which can only resolve over evolutionary time. In other words, it takes time to actually resolve these things. Any solution will very much entail a steep trade-off. Okay. And what did what's his name said? There's no solutions, only trade-offs. Okay. Any solution will very much entail a steep trade-off. That males can't have their cake and eat it too. A prosperous population defer ecological pressures like we currently enjoy without an expectation that this prosperity will increase the mating latitude of females, which it has dramatically, perturbing the breeding population to the point of near evolutionary instability, which is what we're going on now. Why do you think there's a so-called gender war? This is male-female gender instability. That's what's going on right now. Why? Because guess what? The Ghana in the jungle, going to the third world, okay? In Africa, you ain't got none of this shit going on, okay? They're stable. None of this shit is going on in the third world where the modern conveniences are not touching, okay? Go down in the fucking Congo and see if you see radical feminism. Or this kind of harsh matriarchal standard. Doesn't happen. Okay. Without an expectation that this prosperity will increase the mating latitude of females, dramatically perturbing the breeding population to the point of near evolutionary instability. I said, one will always follow the other, as male consensus on these matters is practically impossible in terms of intersexual competition, as opposed to the broad accord females enjoy throughout an abundant wealth of sexual opportunities, courtesy of their reproductively limiting function. In other words, because they get the goodies is because the limit to increasing the population or continuing population that goes through them. So the state is going to side with them. The state's going to give them the goodies. The state's always going to make them more comfortable. And the more comfortable they get, they're going to get that attitude that they have now. So you cannot resolve this. You know, you cannot resolve this when you change the environment, right? Black women changed when their environment changed, as they're changing right now. That is the black pill. Okay? The black pill is looking at the world as it is without what? Morals. Okay? It's a harsh way of looking at things. A lot of your political guys who are adopting this so-called black pill realism. Okay? In other words, I don't care what the morals are. Okay? What are the outcomes? What does one side gain over the other? What are they trying to do? Doesn't matter whether they're moral or not. Doesn't matter how they feel. Doesn't matter how what they're thought of. Okay, there's an objective. In other words, black pill is the ends justifies the means. And the incels have adopted that I don't control the means. Okay, so I'm not going to get the ends. So in other words, there's some incels that figured I don't want to try, I'm going to give up. So they get what they get it. Okay, I'm ugly, I'm short, I'm not attractive. Okay, so a lot of things they could do. They could get skills and move out of the country. They could do a whole bunch of shit, right? Things they lay down and give up. But that's a failed blue pillar. That's not a black pill person. Okay, but that is the original. As told by an incel. This is where they got it from. They adopted it and changed it. So what they say about the black pill is not fucking true. What he just said about the black pill, that's not true. This is the original post of the black pill, the original introduction of the black pill into the manosphere by Paragon. Okay. No, I'm not gonna put up no goddamn chart, man. Unless a whole lot of motherfuckers pay me a whole lot of money to do this shit. I'm not doing that. Okay, I've done it already. I'm not doing it again. And y'all gonna and you guys are going to listen to somebody else and run right back. Even after I tell you this shit and show you this shit, y'all gonna run right back and say, okay, well, B just said this. What do you have to say about this medium, man? I'm not getting into a war. Okay, I'm showing you receipts. When I show you shit, I show you receipts, okay? This is a receipt. Now, if he's got something that's different from what I have, let him show it, okay? Anyhow, let's get back to it.
This is a black man who understands both the story and the reality. He listens, but he also observes.
The white pill represents optimism and agency.
Okay, the white pill represents hope. Okay, if you look at the Matrix 3, the last Matrix, with the architect and the an oracle sitting next to each other. Okay, did you actually believe that this would work out? Or that it would come to this, right? And she said, no, but I hoped. And he smirked. That's a human that's a human emotion. And he walked off. Okay? The white pill is hope. That's exactly what it is, okay? It's a philosophy, okay? Social conditioning, okay? That make you blind to some realities, okay? Red pill, looking at your social conditioning and seeing the reality without your social conditioning, even though you still have a moral tied to it. Black pill is looking at your reality without social conditioning or morals. It is what it is, okay? And you have two sides, okay? I showed you the Joker and Batman. They're black pill people. Superman is not black pill. Batman is black pill. The Joker is black pill. Two sides of the same coin. A nihilist, which, you know, incels are not nihilists. They're not. Nihilists are black pill. Eat, drink, and be merry. Okay? Those are black pill. Okay? You're constructionist, okay? You're utilitarian, like Batman, are also black pill. There are no people who have good and bad nature, but things what ultimately is the best thing for in the outcome for the world, for Gotham, right? Okay. Like you have a nihilist in office right now. We call Donald Trump. Okay, he's a joker. He's not a utilitarian, which makes him a radical, which is why he's so erratic. He's a nihilist. Thanos and Darkseid are black pill. That's which is why they respected Batman. Okay. Incels are failed blue pillars. Okay. That's how come. Which is why I separated what I call the diesels, the sexual side. Okay. From what I call the blue pill side. Okay, of mating, right? Okay. Pimps, hoes, dancers, prostitutes, those kind of folks are actually morally black pill. They have to be. It's because the ends justify the means. Okay. I need to do what I need to do to get this money. I need to tell you what I need to tell you to get this money. I need to do what I need to do to actually eat. And they look at a lot of ugly stuff from the human side, which is the dark side of human behavior. Okay, now they'll get you black pill in a hurry. That's how come. Why do you think a lot of cops commit suicide? Because they're looking into the breach. Anyway, Bane was not black pill. Bane believed in his mistress, which is he followed the woman that made that leap. Okay, I forget what her name was. Okay, at least in the Dark Knight, Bane was a believer. Anyway.
Focusing on self-improvement, adaptability, and the belief that individuals can improve their outcomes regardless of their starting point.
This is a black man who focuses on what he can control. He builds himself, regardless of the outcome.
That's actually red pill. That could be either red pill or black pill. Okay? Actually, it could be all three, believe it or not.
Over time, the red pill metaphor also gained a more specific framing. Rollo Tomasi defined the red pill not as an ideology, but as a praxiology, a framework rooted in observing human behavior, not listening to what people say, but watching what people do, not intentions, not narratives, outcomes.
The red pill to me, anyways, it's the praxiology of intersexual dynamics. When we are talking about the red pill, we are just talking about factual absolutism. Mm-hmm. We're just saying what is true and what is not true. Praxiology, outside of sort of the economics definition, there's two definitions. There's the economics definition, and then there's a classical Greek definition, which is a praxiology is the study of human behavior. In that, human behavior has purpose, has intent, there's a reason why we do those things. Mm-hmm. It's not about good. It's not about evil. It's not about what's right, what's wrong. It's not even about what's best practices. It's just getting to the point, finding out why we do what we do. And in the red pill sense, that's about intersexual dynamics. It's about male nature, female nature, evolutionary psychology, sociology, neurology, endocrinology. How many ologies do we have, And so it's a very, very broad spectrum, because when you think about how many ways intersexual dynamics crosses into all these like subfields, when people ask me, they say, well, what's the red pill? Give me the elevator pitch for the red pill. There is no elevator pitch for the red pill, because it's like a college major. Yes. It's not a bumper sticker. It's not something.
It's a philosophy, the way of looking at the world. Okay. It's a philosophy. Now that they broaden, they like any other philosophy, you can actually broaden what it means, but the philosophy is looking at uh the world that's unsocialized. In other words, outside of what you've been taught. Okay.
You just slap on the back of your car and say, I'm Red Pill, right? So, and I'm talking about Red Pill. I'm talking about like empirical, factual absolutism about the things that are, not the things that should be. The problem is right now, there's too many people who want to jump into this space and say, this is what should be. So I don't talk about best practices. I talk about what is.
Because human beings reveal their priorities through their actions, not their claims. Today, I'm focusing on the red pill, not the label, not the controversy, but the patterns. Because once you see the patterns clearly, you stop listening to claims and start watching outcomes.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing.
Women often say they reject the red pill. They describe it as toxic, misogynistic, bitter, or rooted in insecurity. But praxiology doesn't evaluate emotional reactions. It observes behavioral consistency. Because regardless of what people say publicly, behavior continues privately, and behavior reveals the truth.
Ross, what do women really want?
I don't care what they want. I only care what they respond to. See, my focus is a little bit different from your other guests. There's what women say they want, there's what women think they want, and then there's what they actually respond to. I'm not an academic, I'm not a theoretician. I'm interested in what works on the street when it's time to date and mate. And what women actually respond to is not what they say they want.
So what do they respond to?
They really respond to a guy who's a challenge, a guy who's a question mark, a guy who keeps them guessing. You see, in the beginning, the less attractive you are physically, the more you have to rely on your attitude. And that's what I wrote my book for. I wrote my book for the average looking, even ugly guy who goes out there.
And that's still a moral belief, okay? That's a moral belief, okay? A pickup artist is a moral belief, okay? A black pill person, okay? That's red pill. You still got morals. You have beliefs. You still have a what's acceptable, right? Okay, that's what red pill is. Looking, you're actually breaking your socialization. Now, sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's human behavior, sometimes it's not. Okay. Sometimes it's environment, sometimes it's not.
In the real world and tries to be a nice guy, gets his head kicked in.
So no more Mr. Nice Guy.
You can be pleasant. You see, we got to define our terms. By nice, I mean accommodating. When you accommodate, you get what the commode gets. You get the crapola.
When Kevin Samuels was alive,
that's not always true. Okay, that is not always true. If that was the case, where every guy that was a nice guy got the crap kicked out of him, guess how many nice guys you would actually have? I don't care how you socialized. If you started at 11 with little girls and you were a nice guy, by the time you get to be 21, you would not be a nice guy anymore. That's bullshit. Most of the world, women have to accept nice guys, otherwise it wouldn't work. They have to be conditioned the same way you are.
Feel something important. He said that many high-profile men, athletes, entertainers, executives, men with real-world experience would privately tell him that he was correct. They agreed with the patterns. They recognized the reality. But they also said they could never say it publicly because they had reputations to maintain. That distinction matters because it reveals the gap between public narrative and private behavioral.
It's because anyway. Continuing. I'll let him continue.
Awareness. Recently, rapper Wale appeared on Club Shay Shay and described a situation where a woman expected him to buy her an expensive designer bag. As he explained why that expectation didn't make sense, he paused and he immediately said, "That sounds kind of red pillish."
I remember a long time ago, I was talking to this one girl, and I don't know, man. I didn't think nothing was gonna happen from it, but it was whatever. We on the phone, whatever. Like third conversation, she brought up a bag. And I'm like, oh, you got me confused with one of these that don't got no charisma or no nothing, no conversation. And they pay you in bags for your time. Like, I know, not, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of that on this side. And
that's blue pill. That's actually blue pill, a blue pill simp. Or if you got it like that, depending on the relationship, it's either blue pill or black pill, depending on the philosophy or the worldview of the person doing it. Even red pill guys will do it to get an objective, okay? All three pills would actually do that, believe it or not. Red pill guys pay for dinner and expensive dates and shit like that. Okay, they do. Blue pill guys are even worse at it, and black pill men do it all the time. Okay, Diddy's black pill. Why did he do it? Can't tell me Diddy was not a blue or red pill. Diddy was 100% black pill.
What I think that people think it is now, like these women, not because that sounds very red pillish.
That's not red pill.
We ain't doing that. Yeah, but we're saying like there seems to be like a certain standard
of expectation
that people base their whole personality off of. Me, if I like somebody, I'm paying for dinner, I'm paying for but like, I got you talking about bags and all, like, girl, you better, what you mean? Like, grocery bag? Like, bro, because I just feel like I got way more to offer than just buying shit for somebody.
That moment wasn't ideology. It wasn't indoctrination. It was instinct before social conditioning intervened. Cam Newton.
He actually said social conditioning, okay? The thing is, that's where you need to start out at with the blue pill, the red pill, and even the black pill. Social conditioning, okay? That's why as you go up the scale, you get less people. If you go back and look at the matrix as the foundation of each particular pill, okay, the biggest majority of people were actually inside the matrix because they had to be. Otherwise, if they couldn't all fit in the design, they would have died. You can't have billions of people trying in a cold, blighted world surviving in nature. Okay, they would have died. So the blue pill has to be created, and the blue pill is actually created by who? Black pill people, black pill utilitarians. Okay, which is the the architect, who's an utilitarian, and guess who? Okay, the Oracle. Okay, those are black pill people. They create the society. Okay, one emotionally and one physically.
Provided another example. He made comments suggesting that women lose their value with age or multiple children.
The reality of that answer is women's value get lower the more children that they have. And I was having this conversation, with one of the mother of my children, and she's still fine. But like I was telling her, I was like, yo, the guy that you're dating or will date, if he ain't willing to love on these 5 children that you have, that ain't the guy for you. Okay. Because when I came into your life, I was willing to accept you and whatever.
Well, yeah, but you're not a father to all those children. Okay, okay, you are using you're using a black pill stance to get what you want. You don't care about the money. It's because you got it. Okay, and you're paying her for a service. Okay, that's what you're doing.
You had. And there's guys that's out there that's just going to say, them ain't my kids. I want you. Well, that ain't how it works.
Now, let me address another uncomfortable but necessary truth. Some men will date single mothers. Some men will sleep with single mothers. Yeah. Some men will spend time with single mothers. But internally, they may already know that they will never marry that woman.
And some guys are socialized to accept women with children. Russell Wilson comes to mind, right?
What would you do if you had $1 million?
I'll tell you what I'd do, man.
Marry a 40-year-old woman with somebody else's kids.
They enjoy the companionship, they enjoy the intimacy, but they do not intend to assume the stepfather role. Access is not commitment. Attention is not investment. And time is not always.
And right now he's talking to women, okay? He's not talking to men. He's explaining red pill to females. He's not explaining to men. Okay? He's not talking to us. Okay? You gotta understand that. The people inside the manosphere has already been taught. That's how come a lot of stuff. That's how come I correct Jeff. I correct Dr. L's about the manosphere and philosophy as it sits inside this manosphere. Okay, what you believe on the outside, believe whatever you want. But see, if you're actually going to speak for us, do it accurately.
Intention. This is why single mothers must protect themselves emotionally and strategically.
See, he's talking to women right now. Okay. He's not talking to men. He's talking to women. If women saw the red pill, the thing is, with a woman with kids, you got to bring value to that man. That means you got to have to bring something extra. If you're a woman with kids and you Sierra and you bring a market with you, okay, you can get a Russell Wilson. But if you're a regular smuggler chick with 6 kids, no, okay, it's not going to happen.
By aligning with men who demonstrate clear, long-term intention. The response was immediate criticism. Women pointed out that he himself has multiple children with multiple women and framed it as hypocrisy.
I think that he is projecting, and he's talking about the women who've had his children.
Whoa.
Because
I would have definitely felt some kind of way if I had one of his kids.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he goes to different women.
No, you wouldn't have felt no kind of way. You would have loved to have one of his kids, okay? Stop with that bullshit, okay? You would have had one of his kids, okay? Because it came with a certain amount of status and money. Stop.
Yeah, I think that's a self-value issue. He may want to get his brain checked. He did play football. So I'm just saying, he
The thing is, black women, okay? You know, the thing is, I understand about black women. Y'all talk so much shit when it comes to black men. All these little sneak disses, and wonder how come y'all get what you get. And all black men don't even hear themselves. Okay, oh, it's just funny. I didn't mean it like that. Yes, you did. Okay, that's a sneak diss.
He needs to go back home, and he was raised by his mother and his grandmother. Yeah. He had women that were strong in his life. So to even make statements like
he had a strong father. Okay, that's good. That's what got him where he was. Okay, it wasn't his mother and grandmother. Okay, it was father got him where he was. It wasn't. He'll tell you it was his father.
like that, it's just so rude and so off. Women gain value when you have children.
No, you don't gain value when you have kids. You do not. You gain value to the man that you had kids by. Okay. You know what? I doubt I'll get attacked by FD Signifier. Is because FD Signifier don't want no smoke from me. Okay, he had one opportunity. He got smoke from me, and it actually bounced. He don't want smoke from me. Okay, FD Signifier don't want my smoke. Okay, he doesn't. Most of those left pill guys don't want my smoke. They don't want VHS. Audrey, get the fuck out of here with that, okay? Go ahead and let me go get rid of that, okay? You're not on topic, okay? Stay on topic.
But Praxiology doesn't evaluate emotional arguments. It observes outcomes. Because despite the criticism, Cam Newton continues to have access. He continues to have options. Women continue to voluntarily associate with him, which reveals something important. Value in behavioral terms is not determined by criticism. It is determined by continued demand. If Cam Newton's value truly disappeared, access would disappear.
Now, that is partially true, okay? That's partially true. If that was the case, then you wouldn't have Pookies and Pookies, poor Pookies and homosexual having 11 kids by 5 different women.
Options would disappear. Opportunity would disappear. But when access remains, behavior reveals priority, not commentary.
So y'all don't know. I'm the third one, and this is the sixth child.
Yeah.
Someone said, "Whoa, like, couldn't have been me." All right, so the rich nigga put that pressure on you.
Yeah. But you said a rich nigga put that pressure on you, okay?
I could never be with nobody, okay? Until $100 million start putting pressure on you, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Talking about what you'll never be. Bitch, you ain't never had.
You see, exactly. You don't qualify, okay? Exactly, okay? Okay. Women got a little black, most women have a little black pill in them.
Oh, you better than me, I am.
This is the exact same reason why Cam Newton right now has 8 children with 3 different women. And we all know that women love social proof when men can show that they have the ability to get attractive women.
Acting like girls want a dude that never got a girl.
That too.
Nobody wants.
Ain't one of you feel me?
You see what I'm saying? No female wants the dude.
You don't get no hoes, man. You don't get no bitches. I'm out.
You see what I'm saying? But it's like, what woman wants a dude that can walk in the party and nobody say nothing?
She knows Future has a complex relationship history, yet she's celebrating the fact that he viewed her story. Why? Because his value isn't lowered by his past. It's reinforced by social proof. Others have already validated him.
Another example appears when you ask women a simple question. What do you value most in a man? The answers are kind of predictable. Character, kindness, respect, emotional connection.
In other words, that's what that's blue pill stuff, okay? For the ordinary guy, that's blue pill stuff, okay? That's blue pill.
And those answers sound correct. They sound socially appropriate. They sound
Right.
virtuous.
Exactly.
But praxiology observes behavior under conditions of actual selection. And that's where you see a gap between stated preference and revealed preference.
Exactly. That's the difference between the red pill, that's socialized, because it has to be, and red pill. Okay? You can't have a whole bunch of red pill motherfuckers running around running this country. Okay? It's not gonna happen, okay? Society would break apart. Okay, a lot of your young men are becoming red pilled. Okay, what as far as red pill, what is the most famous saying in red pill? The juice is not worth the squeeze. Return on investment. And a lot of young guys are not dating is because the juice is not worth the squeeze. And these red pill guys will skip the black pill under certain conditions. You know, and nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that. Play a little bit more and we're going to get out of here, okay?
When attraction is on the line, patterns show up. Height matters, status matters, confidence matters, competence matters, and outcomes reveal priorities. I remember listening to Dr. Jordan Peterson reference a psychological study where researchers measured involuntary physiological responses while participants were exposed to visual stimuli. The point of that research, and the reason he references it, is that physiological response does not always perfectly align with what people say they prefer. The body can respond independently of social expectation, independently of stated belief, because attraction operates at multiple levels.
If you had to put a ratio on it, how much of your research focuses on women's desires as opposed to men's desires?
I'd probably put it at 80% women and 20% men. My research primarily focuses on female sexuality.
And why that ratio?
When I first started doing my research at Northwestern University as a graduate student, I was particularly interested in the question, an area of research that hadn't really been examined with women, which was the relationship between women's sexual interests and their patterns of sexual response in the laboratory. And there had been such a wealth of research done with men that this was a pretty glaring oversight. And since then, I've seen similar areas of research that really require a focus on women's sexuality at this point.
Well, can you give us, for example, one previously held misconception about women's sexuality that through your research you have helped to debunk?
Women do not get sexually aroused when they watch explicit erotica.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. That's not true. That is not true. That's not true. Not true at all. That's bullshit. They do get aroused.
This isn't a finding that's exclusive to my research, but it's been shown consistently over and over that women do have very strong physical responses to sexual stimuli. In particular, women show sexual responses to erotica that do and don't correspond with their stated sexual interest.
That's true. That is true. In other words, you can't show male porn that males like to women. They respond to different stuff. They respond to porn, just not the porn that we present to them. But they do.
Why did we have the earlier impression that it was the opposite?
I think that the earlier impression was probably formulated from intuition. You know, you'd expect that somebody would show the greatest amounts of physical responding to things that correspond with what they say they like. But I think it was also that perspective was informed by the research that had been done with men that showed that there was a very strong relationship between the two. And I think that those findings were.
You don't see male toys out in the open is because society doesn't want men to get attached to male toys. Okay, it's because you won't have a society. That's how come you don't have it out there, okay? Yeah, female toys have been there for a long time, like dildos and that kind of stuff. They've been it's been there for a long time. Male toys are not promoted is because it's a substitute for the actual thing. And women hate that because that's in competition to their value. Sexual access is what women mostly sell. Their problems heavily on dialogue. If you can actually have, if you actually look at what women like as far as movies, as far as books, okay, it's not as explicit as male sex, okay, as male sexual porn, okay. It's there. Sex. If you look at any movie that females produce, any book they produce, sex is highlighted, and all their books is hidden a little bit, but it's highlighted. Okay. I was actually listening to. I've been going through this book written by a black woman in 1946, I think it was, right in the 40s, right, about Harlem. Okay. And over and over and over again, okay? The males, even though they like to have sex with that woman, but things they send it on agency, okay? Getting away from the white man, getting a job, being independent, okay? All the women characters wanted to be what? Desired. They wanted to be desired. They wanted to be desired, looked to and desired and paid attention to by men, okay? All the characters, okay? All of them. They want to be desired. So what men desire, what women desire are two different things, okay? Men concentrate on results and let me get back to my purpose, okay? Sex is just an adjunct to my purpose, okay? Women, my sex and desire is the main purpose. So my money, that's how come they present their money, their time, their jobs, and their certificates, right? Is because they want sexual desire from the men that they want. So they put all that money and all that time and all the certificates on the table. That's to attract the man that they want, because that's what they really want. Men don't want the same thing. Okay, men pursue their men don't go get a degree and money to get women. Okay, women are an adjunct to it. If you go to the degree, ain't no man going to college and college to get a degree to actually get women. They're not. They're going to get a fucking job, so you can actually live a good life. Women think their degree pulls in men because they want to be desired. I was in Walgreens the other night and a woman bought a dildo in line ahead of me. I didn't, even though they sold it. They do now. 521 people watching. Okay. If y'all gonna be here, okay, and I know y'all gonna go back talking shit, so at least hit the like button while you're here, okay? Got 500 people watching. Now, me and Mookie were talking about making money yesterday and cloud engineering. I had half the amount of people. People ask me, okay, BGS, how come you don't talk about business and money? Okay, you got to give the people what they want. Got to give people what they want. Anyhow, a little bit more and we're out of here, okay? I'm not going to do the whole thing. If you actually want to see the whole thing, go to Medium Man and watch the whole video, okay?
And extended to women. And with the research that I've done, it's shown that model of sexual interest and sexual response doesn't work for women.
Psychologist Meredith Chivers discovered something critical when studying attraction. When men said they were attracted to something, their biological response matched their words. But with women, it was different. Yeah. What women said they were attracted to often did not match what their bodies
Exactly. That's blue pill shit, okay? Most women are not red pill.
Actually responded to.
The conscious mind can express values, but the subconscious nervous system responds to perceived competence, confidence, and capability.
Anyway, I'm not even going to comment on that, okay? Anyway, what women respond to this, they physically respond to, you don't even want to know, okay?
This is not ideology, it's biology, and biology operates without regard for public narrative. Praxiology simply observes the outcome. And modern technology has made these patterns even more visible. Dating applications record behavioral selection in real time. Who receives attention, who gets ignored, who gets selected, and who doesn't.
There was a girl a couple of months ago who came on this app and told Black women to change their race to white so that they could have better dating options. So I decided to test that theory on my Hinge yesterday. On Hinge, you have the option to hide your race. So my race before was Black, it was hidden. And most of the options on my timeline were drug dealers, scammers, and just frankly men I have no interest in dating. So I changed my race to white, and suddenly, I'm getting Harvard graduates, real estate investors, financial advisors, football players, Black men, and good looking. Where were y'all? But anyway, this is just me saying, if you want better options, change your race to white on these dating apps because they take us for a fucking joke.
So there was this creator on here that said, if you change your Hinge profile race to white or Asian and hide it, that your chances of getting likes on Hinge are significantly increased. And so I tested that theory last night. I wish I could tag her, but the video is been deleted.
Well, what does that tell you about the reputation of Black women socially? Okay, dating dating apps have nothing to do with attraction. Okay, the thing is has more to do with reputation of a group. Okay, with reputation of a group, with the status of a group. So you change it to white is because white women have a certain reputation and a certain status. Has nothing to do with attraction. Nothing to do with attraction. You don't know whether you're attracted to that woman until you actually see her and meet her. Two different things. Okay, the red pill, we're mixing up metaphors right now. That's like on the red pill is Rolla said is complex. Okay, praxiology is complex. Is actually observation. Okay, which is praxiology is just a made up name about observation. Okay, about what is it? Pragmatic observation. It's just a different name. There's a whole bunch of scientific terms talking about observation that come from a whole bunch of different people. We decided to throw in a different name, okay? Because it's good because it brings highlights. Anyhow, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. I punched my clock, and if y'all want to see the rest of it, you can. Okay, I probably could go through this with a fine-tooth comb, but I think y'all get the gist about what it is. Okay. Blue, red, black. Okay. White is nothing but hope. Okay. White is a belief that that's not really an ideology. Okay. A blue, because guess what? There's white in all. There's white in all the pills. Okay. There's white in all the pills, especially a blue pillar, because they exist on hope. The sun is going to come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar, right? Okay. And blue pillars do believe in self-improvement. They do. But the thing is, their outcome and what they want and how they look at the world is still the same. Okay. A blue pillar can go and hit the gym and max out and looks max and stuff like that. But the thing is, what he wants out of that woman is still going to be the same. Okay. It's gonna be the same. He wants a genuine desire, the 2.5 children, okay, and a picket fence. I don't care what he looks like, how many weights he lifts, blah blah blah. There's a whole bunch of blue pill athletes that look at the world the same way. What do they want out of life? A red pillar, it's a cost benefit analysis. Okay, look, being a red pill person is not easy. Okay, being a red pill is not easy. Looking at the world and looking at the woman and her desire does not matter to you on your outcome. Okay, that's a different way of looking at the world. And very hard to be truly red pill. And we don't want to get to black. Okay, don't even want to get to black. It's not even about the outcome. Okay, if you're a black pill person, you get with a woman or a wife. Okay, what are you trying to produce from that union? Okay, what are you trying to produce? What do you want out of her? Is she she's a sugar baby to be toyed with and tossed aside because you want to have a good time, just like she's a utility? You actually want produce a like most most nihilists are. Okay, P. Diddy's a fucking nihilist, man. Or you want to be a politician like Barack Obama, who's black pill? Okay, I need a black woman because I want to run for president and produce black children. That's the utilitarian black pill. Barack Obama's black pill to the gills. He told that to Michelle and all his women. And if you're going to ride with me, you got to ride with my purpose. If not, then you need to step off so I can get a woman that will ride with my purpose. That's black pill. It's utilitarian. Anyhow, let me get out of here. And I will see you guys seeking arrangements. Possibly. That's part of that's okay. We'll get in. That is the edge of black pill. A lot of blue pill guys will seeking arrangements is more black pill. A lot of blue pill guys will dip their toe into the black pill side, okay, into what they call the sexual underground. But the thing is, they all exist. But the thing is, what is your ultimate outcome? How do you ultimately see the world? Yeah, let me get out of here, and I will see you guys later. Since I mentioned Barack Obama, I'm going to give you guys the African, okay? Yeah, because y'all really don't want to know how deep the rabbit hole goes, okay? Y'all really don't. But that is my answer to the red pill, and even though I hear Rollo talk about it, okay, Rollo is not a philosopher, okay. He's a content creator, not a philosopher, okay. If you sit down and talk to a philosopher about a human worldview, then you get into a different channel, and most people do not look at it that way. Okay, they peek at it, but they don't look at it that way. Most people do not look at the world the way I look at the world, and it's not always comfortable. Let's put it that way. So anyhow, go ahead and give you the African.
And with that, I just have two more words to say. Obama out.
Y'all hit my like button on the way out.
Музыка Денис Шибер.